Hey tubesters, it's Auron Forest Song back at you, with another video. And you're looking at my altar right now. And I'm not gonna show you the floor because it's a mess because I just did I'll show you the mess. So I just did a reading yesterday, which I'm very much behind on doing. I pulled my cards for oh no, I just dropped one. I just pulled my cards, which were supposed to be for the week, which I was supposed to have pulled these on Sunday, so I could have this wisdom for the week. It's kind of what I call it, and the wisdom for the week is kind of like supposed to be a play on words. Actually, I think I'll do a separate video on that because that'll be really cool. But it's supposed to be playing words of like week as in 7 days, and a week as in strength. To kind of like this wisdom is to give you the strength for the week, or like I said, I'll make a separate video. Anyway, this is supposed to be about witch's salt, which is right here. I know the lighting's a little weird, and unfortunately I did not adjust it prior to filming. I'm still kind of a newbie at this, or I guess I don't know. I mean, I've been on YouTube before, but it's been quite some time. If not months, probably a year. So, and this channel's completely new anyway, so what you're seeing right here, not that it has anything to do with this, but that's my altar tile, and this is my juju. This will also have its own video. If not this particular one, I will just make a video talking about what jujus are in my practice and how I create them and charge them and feed them and love them and make them feel all happy and fuzzy on the inside. But this is supposed to be about my witch's salt. Now, the lighting's very shitty, but if you look, not only do you see crystals around it, but you'll see that it's pretty much just the white salt. Now, typically what you'll learn from witch's salt, oops, out of frame, is that it's kind of like, it's that black salt, right, made from the cauldron or ash or whatever. And so this is obviously not that. This is a big ass jar of just I'm trying to think, is it iodized salt? I think that's what I got. This was full back in, was it March? Was it just a month ago that I did this? I don't remember. I don't remember. Maybe it was March. I don't remember when I charged this. I think it might have been March 1st, but I thought I missed that light moon. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, basically, witch's salt, or at least in my practice, witch's salt is what you'll find as 7-day salt. Please pardon me of continually being out of frame. I'm not actually looking at the camera when I'm talking, so I don't always notice when I'm out of frame. But basically, as I was saying, witch's salt is 7-day salt. So if you want to do some research, extensive research specifically on 7-day salt, you'll have to research it that way, because if you research witch's salt, you'll just learn about the black salt, which you probably already know about. So I believe it's a hoodoo voodoo practice. I'm not entirely sure because I don't do it the way, at least I don't do it totally the way that you would learn about it online or in books or what have you. The only similarity that I do is it's the week of the full moon, and it's salt. That's pretty much the only thing that's similar. But my whole ritual that I'm going to be sharing with you it's not really my own creation. It's partly my own creation, partly from Silver Raven Wolf, so if you don't like her, you might not be too enthused about the evocation that I use. And it's also partly something I just randomly discovered on the internet, actually. I think it was on Pinterest. I don't even remember. I just stumbled upon it. I was like, oh, what's that? That sounds interesting. What's 7-day salt? And I did research. Do you see the rainbow in my window? It's right there. That little flash is supposed to be a rainbow, but you don't see it. So I'm just gonna go back to talking about my salt. So yeah, I cook with this. I put it in. Oh, I put it in my floor cleaner, which smells really good. It's only lavender, so it's nothing too fancy. But yeah, so I put some salt in here with my baking soda. And if you want, comment below, and if enough people are interested, I'll do a video on my carpet cleaner, how I make that and everything, and how you can make it really cheap and easy, with sometimes even just using like baking extracts. But back to the salt. So basically what I do, I think I specifically buy, for this gallon-sized jar, 7, like those box containers, the cylinder cheapy ones. The ones are like usually 50 cents or whatever. I think I buy 7 of those, and it fills this up. Maybe 8. Adjusting myself on my meditation pillow. Yeah, so I just fill this up with salt, and I make sure to have that done at the very least 4 days before the full moon. I call it light moon, so from here on out, I will be continuing to call it light moon, because that's what it's referred to in my tradition. But yeah, I make sure to have this done at the very latest 4 days before the light moon. That is what basically 7 days of salt is. It's the week of the full moon, so so it's all day and all night, for 7 days, 3 days before, 3 days after, and the day of the light moon. And that's pretty much all it is in its simplest form. If you're to do research, that, at least how I remember it from what little bit of research I did. You might hear me say stuff like that a lot, because something I've said since the beginning of learning my practice is that I didn't want it to feel like a research paper where I have to do all this works cited page, or, and all this research like I'm studying to make a paper or a dissertation or anything like that. And I wanted to be where I would learn stuff, but I didn't have to feel like I had to, like, it's not that I don't want to give people credit, but I just didn't want to go overboard with it. So you might hear me saying things like, I don't know this, I don't know who it belongs to. You might hear me say that more than others, because that's not a strong suit in my practice. But with me being more public about it, I am going to try and better myself at that. But there's no guarantees, because it's something that's been that way for about 4 years now. So basically the difference that I do is I make a shit ton of it, which is one reason. And whereas if you're to do it the way you'll learn online, you could do that every month. Mine can only happen sometimes once a year. It kind of all depends on the astrological fallings. Basically what I do is I incorporate full sun into my practice, specifically in this practice and ritual. Full sun, in a simple explanation, is when the sun is on your time zone meridian. I hope I explained that correctly. I learned that back in the Farmer's Almanac when I used to get those. It would say, I think it referred to it as sun on meridian. But because it's kind of hard for me to remember that, and I just decided to call it full sun, kind of a little more symbolic to full moon, even though I don't call it full moon. I know it's a little weird. Just work with me. And so, yeah, and that happens every 1st, 8th, the full sun, that is, 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th of every month. And it actually is the same day for each of those dates for the month. So, like, let's say in April, all of those dates fall on a Friday. So each of them would obviously be a Friday. So that's kind of how it works. Let's see, what's today? Today is Thursday, 25th? No, 26th. No. Yeah, it's the 26th. So, So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that means Sunday is the days that they fell on for this month in April. And this Sunday is also the light moon in April on the 29th. So that's why I'm doing this. Today being the very first day. That's why I'm so glad that it's a Thursday and I can film this video, and I'm doing it now. I don't know if I'll post this after filming it, because there's another video that I want to do about candid confessions. That's kind of like a video series I want to do, and I kind of want to talk about why I left YouTube and why I'm coming back, especially to the pagan witchy community. And I kind of feel that that's important to do that video first, but I've been kind of stalling and procrastinating because I don't want to do that video, because it's a serious, touchy subject, and it has lots of personal and possible triggers in it. So I just wanted to do this fun video first, and plus it's perfect alignment with me doing it now anyway. So I'm gonna quit rambling. I think I've explained it as best I could. So basically what you would do is every month, in order to do the 7-day salt, you would just get your salt, and 3 days before the light moon, you'd put it out all day, all night, up until the 3 days after the light moon. Then you take it off, and you have your charged salt for the powers of the days of the week, so the 7 magical planets, all the magical hours within the days, and the full moon charging your salt. Now, what I do is basically those dates, 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th, the full moon has to fall on one of those 5 days. So now you're seeing where the restrictions are applying and why I make a shit ton of it, because it will not happen every month, right? I think there's even been a time where it didn't happen at all within a year. That's when I learned really quick that I need to make a lot of it. And so basically when the full sun and the light moon are on the same day, that's when I like to charge my salt, because I'm getting divine masculine and divine feminine, sun and moon chi being blessed into my salt, as well as the 7 days, and all the hours within them days. Yeah, so, oh gosh, out of frame again. This video is probably going to be very crap, but hopefully you get the gist of it. So that's basically what I do. I fill it up with some salt. A good way you can do this is also using Himalayan salt. You know, it has those pink vibrations that bring about love and self-esteem. And so you would get those loving vibrations amplified, especially on the Venus day, Friday, which would amplify that a lot. And it also has the standard protection properties, since it is a salt, you know, but you could have that love vibration since it's Himalayan salt. And plus, Himalayan, things like that are Himalayan tend to have a higher spiritual vibration. So it would be very spiritually attuning, as well as that loving vibration, as well as just being the, you know, since it's a salt, it has that purification and protection properties anyway. So yeah, you could do that, and get a lot of it, make 1 jar of it, I don't know, do as your heart sees fit. And I think I'm just going to go into reciting the chant now. Oh, I need to tell you, so I lay out crystals, I lay out crystals in like a rough heptagram shape. There's the hematite for Saturn, and then lapis lazuli for Jupiter, carnelian for Mars, citrine for Sun, rose quartz for Venus, blue kyanite for Mercury, and selenite for Moon. And I lay them out according to the I'm looking at my paper right here. The Chaldean order of the planets. This is something I learned in like the planetary calculator thing, for the magical hours of the day. I'll try and remember to link that website that I use that has that planetary calculator, so you can calculate what hour bracket is pertaining to what planets for that day, because each hour in the day corresponds to one of the 7 planets, so you can kind of like double up on your correspondences if you find that interesting. Anyway, so that's how I put it on here, with the heptagram, also known as the fairy star. I'm trying to figure out how to lay this down nicely. So yeah, and then we have the Diosul, that creative circle flow. So Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. That's how I have the crystals laid out here. And I already told you which ones those are. And this is basically my adaptation of the Invocation of Seven that is put in the what's that book called? It's the Book of Shadows by Silver Raven, Ultimate Book of Shadows, I think it is. I did omit at least one couplet because I just didn't feel it fit. So I'll just put this here so you can screenshot it. I'm not going to bother read. Oop. Actually, I will read it in case you can't read my handwriting. So it says, 7 planets light the heavens, 7 metals rule the stars, 7 angels stir the magic, 7 spirits bring the charge, 7 beasts, 7 birds, 7 drums beat out the words, 7 chakras, 7 days, 7 pillars, 7 rays, blend together into one, as thy will it shall be done. And that's what I say. When I do a video talking about caveats, I'll explain why I say as thy will instead of as I will. Because that's kind of important to me anyway. This is my witch's ointment. And then this is my fairy ointment. I'm going to do a video. If I have time, I'll try and do the fairy ointment video today. Showing you and talking about what it's really good for and all, because it's not just good for fairy work. But yeah, so what I did is, some of this you might not understand, like what are the 7 spirits? What are the 7 beasts, and what are the 7 birds? What are the 7 drums, and the 7 pillars? So I did research, and according to my intuition, spirit guides, meditation, and divination, this is how I confirm the meanings to be. So I do it in order of the chant. So it's planet, metal, angel, spirit, beast, bird, drum, chakra, day, pillar, and ray. And I do that for until it's a total of 7. And so I'm just going to go in order. I'll let you screenshot this as well, if I can get the... It's getting kind of... There we go! So just pause that and screenshot it, because I know I'm a little shaky. And I'll read it to you as well. So this is all one grouping of correspondences. So it's Sun, Gold, Michael, Divinity... I should probably read this to you. So for the 7 spirits, I connected with the 7 spirits of God. Now, I know it says God here, and that's Christian-based, but what I've come to understand is that every time it says God in the Bible, it's really talking about divinity. So it could be God and Goddess. So that's how I believe and work with it, so feel free to do whatever. And so I consider the 7 drums to be the 7 vital organs that correspond to the planets. And then the 7 pillars, I agreed, but I believe that they were talking about the 7 pillars of wisdom. I think that might also be a Christian concept, but since I'm a Mormon mystic, I'm a type of Christian witch, basically. Which I might do a video. I might incorporate that in the Candid Confessions. Anyway, so this is Sun, Gold, Michael, Divinity, the spirit of divinity. The beast is Lion, Eagle, Heart, Solar Plexus, Sunday. The pillar is Purity, and the ray is yellow. So that's what the rays are. It's from the rainbow that are also connecting to the chakras. So then we have Moon, Silver, Gabriel, Wisdom, Hair, Owl, Brain, Intuitive Eye, Monday, Peaceableness, Indigo. Mars, Iron or Steel, Camel, Fear, Wolf. And this fear is kind of like supposed to be like, not the fear as in like timid and like dictatorship, but the fear as in like that awe-inspiring respect, where it's like you know better than to disrespect it. It's like that type of fear. I hope that made sense. Wolf, vulture, gallbladder, sacral Tuesday, sincerity, and orange. So back to that fear. It's like a passionate type of thing. It's not like you should fear me because I beat you to smithereens or anything like that. It's like you fear me because you know how powerful the divine is. I hope that made sense. I tried to explain it better, but I don't know if I actually did. So now we go to Mercury with aluminum, Raphael, knowledge, fox, hawk, lungs, throat, Wednesday, reasonableness, and the color blue. And then we have Jupiter, pewter. And these, by the way, when it comes to the metals, I use the modern correspondences of the metals. So it will be a little different because typically for mercury, it's mercury, actually, the metal mercury. But since that's poisonous, we use aluminum. Well, those who agree use aluminum. And the reason why I say iron or steel is because sometimes it's hard to get iron, but steel has iron in it. So it's a good substitution. And for pewter, I think the original one is tin, but not everyone has tin. And I did research at one point before this, and I believe pewter has tin in it. So anyway, let's continue. Jupiter, pewter, Zadkiel, might, bull, peacock, liver, crown, Thursday, helpfulness, and the color violet or purple. I just prefer to say violet. And if you're wondering what the order is, again, it's just this order, and then I just kind of put the information on. And the order came from how I have the chant written. Venus, copper, Haniel, council, dolphin, dove, kidneys, heart. Oh, heart meaning the heart chakra, not organ. I was like, wait a minute, why do I have two organs here? Friday, gentleness and the color green. Saturn, tungsten, and originally it's lead, but I've found that tungsten has some pretty good correspondences, plus it is a dark metal, or maybe it's a mineral, I don't remember, but I just know that it's a good correspondency for Saturn. Cassiel, understanding, mountain goat, crow, spleen, root chakra, Saturday, humility, and the ray is red. So I think that's everything. As I said, the Silver Ravenwolf, I think she's the one who created this. I just know it's in that Book of Shadows. And I don't usually use pre-written words, especially from others. I usually prefer to make my own, but I did tweak these to my liking. I'm trying to remember what I was about to say. I can't remember. Oh no. Well, I don't know what I was about to say. I completely lost my train of thought. I think it was something to do with silver. I know that this isn't it, but I'll say it anyway. Some people might not be very keen on Silver Ravenwolf, so if you're not liking this, feel free to come up with your own. I just did it because I wanted to kind of call on I remember what it is now. Call on as many correspondences and layer them on top of each other as much as possible to make it very potent. So what I was about to say before I forgot was that she refers to this as the invocation of 7. But I do want to say that an invocation is it's an internal thing. So you're awakening stuff within. Whereas an evocation, think of it this way. Invocation has so it's internal. So that would be like things within yourself, awakening the powers within, right? Whereas evocation has the E, like external. So you're awakening external beings or chi or whatever, or vibrations, whatever you want to call it. And so she refers to it as an invocation of 7, and I guess you say this and it's supposed to invoke it within yourself, but I use it as an evocation, I guess slight invocation with like the chakras or whatever, but I do it more as an evocation where I'm like calling the chi from like the crystals and the planets and all that to be channeled into the salt. So that was something I wanted to make sure that I said to you, that as a difference. And it's almost like it's honestly it's more like an invocation and an evocation. So like when it comes to the like the organs and the pillars and the chakras, anything that would be within myself, I do invoke those as well. And it's almost like not only am I bringing external vibrations into this salt from like the planets and the crystals and spirits and whatnot, but I'm also tying myself to the salt with my chakras and all that. So I wanted to tell you that it's like a combining of external and internal. So it's like an invocation and an evocation at once. So I hope that made sense. I know I was kind of rambly. I thought that I would be able to do this video much better than I did, but I apparently did not. Hopefully my videos will get better in due time. So yeah, I'm trying to remember. There was a video that I wanted to do. Oh, fairy ointment. So hopefully I have enough time where I can work on the fairy ointment video. If not, that might have to happen next week. So thank you for listening and watching. This took much longer than I thought, so I hope you got it and you understand. If not, feel free to leave questions and I'll either answer them in a comment or make a video on it. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, and I don't normally do this type of thing, like follow me here, but I am on Instagram more than anything else. Like, I'm never on Facebook, honestly. I'm actually thinking about deleting the Facebook I made for this channel. I made the Instagram and the Facebook for this channel. I want to specify again, are not my personal accounts, and I do not wish to share my personal accounts, at least not right now. And I might explain that in my Candid Confessions video, which I have yet to make, as you already know. But basically, I said all that to say this. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, and you can message me there, especially if you have anything you want to say personally, or you don't want others to see it. You can just message me there, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. I'm going to be trying to post a little more frequently on there, and I think things are finally like slowing down a bit so I can get, this part of my life in order. And like I said, thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and like this video if you found it interesting and helpful. Dislike it if you didn't find it to be helpful. I love to get that type of information so I can see what it is, see what it is that you're looking for and what it is that you like. At the end of the day, this is my channel, so I am going to do as I see fit. But at the same token, I want it to be a haven for all people, all different belief systems and expressions of life. I do want it to be a haven in that sense because, I don't know, I just feel that's just something that I feel this world needs, and I want to try and provide it. You must be the change that you want to see in the world, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So this channel is supposed to be not necessarily an open book, but it is supposed to be authentic in what it is I do share on here. However, that does not mean I'll be sharing everything. But yeah, so I wanted to say that. So even though I'm giving you guys this open policy to say yay or nay and what it is you want to see, I will still be making the final decision, and if I'm not comfortable making a video, I'm not going to make it, no matter how many people say it that they think I should, because I have to go with what feels right. But that does not mean that I don't welcome people giving suggestions and ideas and reminders of videos I said that I would make and I forgot. So yes, I'm gonna end this now before it gets any longer and the camera cuts me off. So thank you for watching, and have a blessed day. Peace out.